What's up, gang? So I have tonight's lineup for the Yankees. Game 2 against the Minnesota Twins. And it looks like Carlos Correa might be back. And we got a nasty Nestor on the mound. But before I do that, okay, I'm going to give you 3 trade targets. Bullpen trade targets for the Yankees. Some of them I've mentioned already. Some of you may not have heard me mention. But I think these are 3 guys. And there's a method to the madness behind them. Okay? Each one of these guys is a member of a team where it's possible to maybe do a multiplayer trade. And to me, the Yankees have 3 needs. Starting pitching. Yes, starting pitching. Just some more depth. Relief pitching. And outfield. So all the guys around here. And I want to mention a guy that you can combine with him on his team to make a trade like that possible. At least in my opinion. And I think they're relatively reasonable guys. It will cost, obviously, a hefty package. But I think it would be worth it at the end of the day. So let me give you that now. Before I pivot over to the lineups tonight, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. I appreciate you all. You're the best for your support. On the road to 25,000 subs, so trying to get there by the end of the year if I can. So, and if you do subscribe, make sure you hit the bell icon and the like button too. And that way you don't miss anything. All right, so with that, let's go to the first guy. Former Yankee, actually, Luis Cessa. He's pitching with the Cincinnati Reds. Okay, Yankees traded him and Justin Wilson a couple years ago. And got some young pitching prospect who's in their farm right now. And but he's currently, his stats aren't very sexy. He's 2-1 with a 5.14 ERA, 21 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts. And but he's got a career 4.08 ERA. But a lot of the low ERAs resided when he was with the Yankees. And I think if he comes back here, not only was he a great teammate, he was a reliable reliever with the Yankees, and if you can get Matt Blake to work with him, I think they can resurrect some of that really, really good pitching. So, and he's not a free agent until 2024, so they will get a year and a half of team control. All right, so siren. I don't know if that's Popo or the ambulance, but hang on one second. All right. So, and obviously the guy that I would pair with him on the Cincinnati Reds, I would try to get Luis Castillo. Starting pitcher, frontline starting pitcher to plug in that starting rotation. And I mention this because my gut tells me that Nestor Cortes and Luis Severino are going to be on some kind of innings limits. So because Nestor's never thrown up 100 innings in a season, and Severino's coming off, he hasn't thrown about half a season since 2018. So he's coming off several years down. So I think throwing him to the fire would be a little bit dangerous. So that's why I mentioned a starting pitcher. Now let's pivot over to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yes. David Bednar, 27-year-old right-handed flame-throwing shutdown reliever. Okay, this year is 2-1 with a 1.33 ERA. He's locking it down this year. Okay, 37 Ks in 27 innings pitched. He got a career 2.74 ERA in 100 games. Okay, and he's not a free agent until 2027. Those controllable years is absolutely nuts. Okay, you get the rest of this year and then 4 more years before the guy's a freaking free agent. So that's the type of controllable guy you can get up. And I am excited, I'm hopeful that Johnny Lasagna comes back this year healthy, maybe Steven Ridings and some of these guys, but there's going to be a lot of uncertainty once, well, there is uncertainty now, even with Chapman and Zach Britton, but both of them are going to be gone after this year. And they're going to need to fill out some roster spots. And a guy like Bednar will be perfect. And obviously, if you want to make a blockbuster trade, him and Brian Reynolds would be the guys to go after. Yes, it would cost at least Jason Dominguez and a bunch of other guys. I think Miguel Andujar can be a throw into any of these trades for some young controllable player. But him and Brian Reynolds would be an absolute blockbuster trade. And again, outfield, reliever. First trade, starter, reliever. All right. So, and then the third guy is Scott Barlow. I mentioned him from the Kansas City Royals. He's a 29-year-old right-handed pitcher. This year is 2-1 with a 1.57 ERA, and he's a career 13-9 with 3.26. But he's having an out-of-worldly year. And again, another controllable contract. He's not a free agent until 2025. So you get a couple of reliable years with him. And again, you put Matt Blake, or these guys in Matt Blake's hands. I think we'll be in good shape. We'll be in good shape. And again, he's part of the team that you can maybe try to facilitate a multiplayer trade with Andrew Benintendi. He's essentially the cheaper, the less expensive version of an Ian Happ from the Cubs, who's a less expensive version of a Brian Reynolds from the Pirates. So that's kind of tiered, in my opinion, in that way, but not necessarily productivity. But if you can facilitate a Barlow and an Andrew Benintendi trade, yes, it would cost a lot, obviously, but that's the type of trade you make. And again, these are the 3 guys I think would be absolute gold for the Yankees. Not necessarily getting all 3, obviously, but if you got one of them, or you did a multiplayer trade with one of them and one of these teammates, Yankees be in a hell of a lot better spot. So, because they're still getting a lot of non-production out of the outfield, especially particularly with Gallo and Hicks, and we know, and they've had a little signs of life recently and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, the teams in the American League East are going to fortify one way or another. So the Yankees are going to have to do it too. And if I were them, I wouldn't be waiting to see what other teams do to respond. I'd be striking first and trying to get some of these guys off the market, so that if they do make trades, they're going to have to overpay for guys and whatnot. Hurt them in the wallet. Hurt them in the damn wallet. So those are the three guys. Now let's pivot over to the lineup. We got DJ LeMahieu leading off playing third base. Aaron Judge, who went deep yesterday like a 4,000-foot home run, his 22nd home run. Major League leading 22nd home run, is batting second in center field. Anthony Rizzo's batting third at first base. Giancarlo Stanton's in right field, batting cleanup, and he hit a bomb yesterday too. Josh Donaldson is batting fifth at DH. Gleyber Torres batting sixth at second base. Aaron Hicks batting seventh in left field. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa batting eighth at shortstop, and Kyle Higashioka is at the dish batting ninth. So I've got Joey Gallo has a day off today. Nestor Cortez, Nasty Nestor, the stash. Yes. The stash is on the hill tonight. So that's the lineup. Those are my three bullpen targets, I think, for the Yankees. You let me know what you think, and I'll see you all tonight for the recap. Over and out.